Hi everyone, this is Wayne, the physiotherapist and co-founder of HSS. I'd like to start by thanking everyone for their support of this program. It is very new to us and it is the first time that we are running such a student program. Now it's completely unique to what HSS is used to doing in the corporate health space. Now, we hope to be able to create a program that students will enjoy participating in. We also hope to create enough space for collaboration and self-directed learning. This being said, the end goal is still to meet the needs of the community and to provide better healthcare in amateur sports. Personally, I'm ready to commit as much time and resources as possible to help create a good placement experience, and this is a placement that I wish I had in my final years of uni. As a group, we are very open to constructive feedback from all students going through the program. Please feel free to drop us a message or let our supervisors know when you see them. This will help us improve on the future student experience. That being said, please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Medium for more updates. Now, the two apps that we'll be using for the program is Slack and Notion. Why do you say we use Slack and Notion? We use Notion for notes as it allows us to run a real-time virtual student clinic on various sites. Everything you upload on Notion will be made visible to everyone instantaneously. That means if I'm editing this page right now, everyone who's on this page will see my updates. And it also makes the ease of rostering, writing notes, and filling in your logbooks that easy that we can actually bring this app to your pockets, as in your smartphones. Now, we use Slack to chat as it allows us to create channels. Think of it as Facebook Messenger without your supervisors being able to access your personal profile. Now, Notion speaks with Slack, which means that every time an update is made on a Notion page, everyone in your Slack group would get notified as well. Now, first and foremost, we ask that you treat documentation in Notion with professional discretion. You respect the privacy of each individual client that you meet on the Notion database. We are also required to inform all students that if you misuse and misappropriate these tools, it is an offense by the university, and this can be actually taken into disciplinary action. Now, if you fail to actually maintain a proper logbook as well as documenting case studies, this may also hinder your completion of this placement. Now, let's take a closer look at Notion. I'm using a computer for it, but the layout shouldn't actually differ too much if you access it from your phone or iPad. Now, you're free to pick whichever platform you prefer. I recommend to use the web browser as well as your iPhone app. Now, as soon as you receive the invite from HSS, it's important to sign up for an account. And if you haven't received the invite, do shoot me or Abigail a message and we'll send it out again. Once you've signed up for a Notion account, you will have to change your workspace to the HSS workspace. Now, to do this, and this is quite similar in mobile as well, go to the top left-hand corner of your screen and push down. You bring down a menu and you can see I can actually select between a few workspaces here. You will most likely have your personal name as well as a HSS one. So pick the HSS one. Now you should be able to see the Murdoch University page. It kind of looks like this as of the date that I'm recording it on. And this is the first page that everyone will be given access to. Now, make your way down to this page, the Test Club page, and this will actually reflect the format of what a placement venue or what a club page might look like. Now, this is the main page where you will be able to view all the club details, who the personnel is, how you're rostering, and even the other trainers that you'll be working with. I'd like to direct your attention to where the injury list is. So this is where you'll be putting on your session notes whenever you do any assessments or interventions on any particular player. Once you enter in, you can actually use the search function here to search up a name. As you can see, there's only one entry in here, and that's John Doe. Now, if a player is not in the database, as in you want to create a brand new entry, you only need to go down to New here, push it, and fill in as many details as possible. So for me, I'm opening this, and let's say I'm doing an assessment on Abigail. So you fill in as much details as possible. For injury type, what you can do is you can pick a injury type. If there isn't a category that you want, you can actually create one, and you do this by saying, let's say Abigail sustained a fracture. You can actually flag it by creating fracture over there. Every time you make a node entry, make sure that you select the date. This date is last seen, so every time you assess the player or encounter the player, make sure you update this here. Now, sometimes an injury can be very difficult to describe, and a picture can be worth over 1,000 words. You can actually upload a picture of Notion this way. Now, it's your responsibility to actually make sure that no pictures are actually kept on your device and misused unprofessionally. If there is a serious need to upload pictures on the system, please use common sense and let the player know that you're taking a picture to be uploaded on the club injury management system. Now, all pictures are to be deleted from your personal devices at the end of each shift, and let your pictures actually be stored on Notion, not your phone. So, the space down here is where you'll be using to type in your SOAP notes. To do this, all you need to do is actually create the entry. So let's say today is the 22nd of May. So all I need to do is type my SOAP in, my SOAP notes. In this format. Now, I know that physio students or sports science students might use a different format, but we'd like you to actually opt with the format that Murdoch has enforced with you in your student clinic. Now, for subsequent entries, so for new entries, say if the player's been seen many times, all you need to do is actually update it on the top of the screen. So last week, this Abigail was seen on the 22nd, and today might be the 31st. So all you have to do is upload it as such. There you go. So you do your SOAP, and what I'd like you to do is also sign off with your name at the end. So you can put the seen by. And I'll put my name in. There you go. Now, the tab above here is the comment section. Now, this is where your supervisors will be using it to provide feedback on your treatment or your assessment. This is how it will appear. So the supervisor will go on and perhaps type approved, or review with you. Now, you do not type your SOAP notes in the comment section. So leave SOAP notes for the bottommost part of the screen, and every time you create a new entry, you create it on top. As such. Now, bring your attention to the top right hand corner of your screen, and this is how you actually favorite a page. And as you can see, as soon as I press favorite, it actually appeared here on my favorites, so I can actually have very quick access to it. So this is how you very quickly enter pages, so you don't have to, you can actually bypass all of this front end of the software. Now, Slack. This is how it looks on my computer. If you use it on your phone, it's gonna look slightly different. I'd like everyone to actually download the app on your phones, set it up, and be sure you're able to receive messages as well as notifications from it. Now, Notion communicates with Slack directly. So as soon as I upload something on Notion, it will appear on the Slack group that you're in. That way, you can actually check if someone has made a entry or change to a roster. Now, for rostering, when it comes to your weekly schedules, you are responsible to ensure that all games and trainings are covered. Now, this is quite mandatory to passing this prac, and it is absolutely essential that you work with your cohort. You are each expected to take a proactive role in putting down your name on rosters and communicating with your group on providing enough cover for each single session. So, make my way down to roster. The first column you will see is training nights. Now, typically, you have the responsibility of going on during training nights. You want to maintain and create a client caseloads during these nights. Now, we want you to use these nights to actually practice your subjective and objective assessments. We'd like you to think critically on creating or managing a treatment plan for any player who's injured. Now, as university students, I hope that you get into the habit of assessing a client before actually treating them, and then looking for a immediate measure of an outcome, so you actually know what changed now in between then. Use training night as well as time for self-directed learning, and you want to bring questions or objective findings to your supervisors in uni for discussion. You can ask our supervisors on field. You can also engage with other students. All in all, we're really looking forward to students trying to manufacture a positive learning environment. Now, this is how a game roster will be displayed. Now, let's go on round one. So typically, a Google Maps will be embedded into the roster every time a game takes place, because sometimes it does take place at different venues and you're expected to know where it is. And if you don't know, you have to check with your peers as well as your supervisors to confirm. Now, taping time is typically the time where you arrive on ground. You're with players and you are required to perform the necessary interventions to prepare them for their game. So this is where you'll be performing sports taping, maybe pre-game stretches or warm-ups. You can even throw in some pre-game treatment with them. Now, this is where the game begins. So typically taping takes place in the change rooms or the club rooms, or if some clubs are fancy enough, they even have a club clinic. So taping takes place in there, and players are then moving onto the field. This is where you will be on field alongside your team, and you'll be looking after the players that way. Be prepared always to watch the games and to stand by for first aid, and be observant to known injuries on field. Now, on field, always maintain your professional conduct and keep the communication channels open with players, team managers, coaches, and even your team members. There you go. Let's go back to the club page. Now, right at the bottom of the page, you will find your logbook available for you. Now, it's your responsibility to update this very, very frequently as you attend sessions. Each student will actually be given your own logbook found at the bottom of the club page. So let's say I did a shift or I did a session at this club. What I do is go down, look for my name. My name is not here, but let's say Ruben is scheduled for today. So fill in the date, when you started, when you left the venue, put in a number of hours as well, maybe some comments. If you came extra late because clinic was running late, you could put in came late due to Murdoch Clinic. That way it's recorded. Murdoch knows, and we know as well. There you go. Now, for students who are doing multiple clubs, you will have your name on each individual club page. So let's say I'm doing Murdoch Cricket Club. I will have to look for my name at the bottom of the Murdoch page as well, and actually create an entry in there. So this should make it simple for everyone. Now, thanks for listening. This might be a bit of a long-winded video, but I hope this really clarifies why and how we use Notion and Slack. Thank you.